Got a question from one of you at my Twitter page, at JD Pickell, and you said, why is Florida State able to be so successful through the transfer portal? We're getting guys picking us over other top programs. And I would imagine the sentiment is, hey, we're no slouch either at Florida State, but there's some other big schools after some of the guys that we get. And on the recruiting trail, a great metric or a great frame of reference to use when judging some of the talent you get is who else was after our guys. Jaheim Bell, a lot of other big schools after him. Fentrell Cypress, Ohio State was on the trail after him. So these other programs that want some of the guys that you ended up landing at Florida State should tell you the kind of caliber of player that you are getting. And so far, Florida State has landed, at the time of this recording this, 10 transfers. So Mike Norvell and company, they're going to work in the portal, but why are they able to be so successful in the portal? Well, one of the big reasons, I believe, is proof of concept. Anytime you're transferring programs, there's a lot that probably goes into your decision-making, but some of it, I believe, is situation, fit, and helping your production on the field, because all of these guys, or the majority of guys, I would imagine, want to play in the NFL. So in order to do that, how do you help yourself on the field? And one thing that I think you look at is past experiences of other transfers. Proof of concept of guys that have transferred from another program into this program and have they been able to be successful. Well, you have a ton of success stories at Florida State for guys that have transferred. Jared Verse went from Albany, the FCS level, to Florida State, balled out. Jordan Travis, he was a transfer from Louisville. This is now going to be one of the top players in the country in 2023. Johnny Wilson, Micah Pittman, both of them transferred from Pac-12 schools to Florida State and have revamped their careers. Not that they were in a bad place. They transferred pretty early on, but they're having a ton of success at Florida State. So if I'm a transfer and I see all these guys that have had success at Florida State, I might take a second look at Florida State, because I know without a shadow of a doubt, there have been other guys in my position that have transferred and been successful. So the proof of concept in terms of being a transfer and being able to do more than what you've done at your previous stop is out there. So that makes me feel like, okay, at the very least, I can control more of what I want to accomplish. I'm not going to get to Florida State and have there be a bunch of different hangups, more than likely, because that's the last thing you want, to get to a different situation and have it be difficult as a transfer. It's going to be difficult anywhere you go in terms of the learning curve and getting used to new surroundings and new coaching staff, but to have seen guys do it and do it at an elite level, I think it's helping Florida State on the transfer portal market. If you have not yet subscribed to the On3 YouTube channel, we'd love to have you at the party. We do more of what you want to see here. We've had people in the comments, we've had people messaging me on Twitter and adding me on Instagram and saying we want to see more Florida State content. So here we are. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to do more of what you want to see. Also, like I said, follow me on the social channels, at JD Pickell on Twitter and on Instagram. Hit me up. Let me know what you want to see. The DMs stay open like Johnny Wilson in the bowl game. The program right now for Florida State is in a really exciting place. And make no mistake about it, that is a huge reason why they're able to land the transfers that they're landing. Because Jaheim Bell transferred from South Carolina to Florida State. He got offered by Florida State out of high school. And the question was, why Florida State now? Why was Florida State your destination at this point in your career? He said, I was pumped about it out of high school. I was very excited about Florida State getting offered out of high school. But the reality was, and I'm paraphrasing here, the reality was the program at the time of my recruitment wasn't in a place where I could afford to go there from a career standpoint. When I say afford, I mean in the sense of for him, it wasn't the best spot from a trajectory for his career, because Florida State wasn't extremely competitive. They were sorting a lot out when Jaheim Bell was coming out of high school. They haven't always been as competitive as they are right now. Right now, Florida State's in an exciting place. They are tracking like this. They're in a place where a lot of guys say, okay, I want to go there and win football games. That's what Florida State's doing. Because winning games, one, it's fun. You want to transfer somewhere where you can have a good time and win a lot of games. Like, that's the reality. The other piece of that is winning equates to a couple of things. One, exposure. Going back to what you want if you're a transfer. You want to give yourself the absolute best chance to play at the next level. So eyeballs are going to be on you if you're winning games, just the way that it works. The other piece is if you're winning games, it likely means you're putting in talent in a position to succeed from a Florida State standpoint. Meaning, yeah, we've got a lot of talent, but we're putting that into a developmental process to where we're getting the most out of that talent. I know if I'm a transfer, I go to Florida State, I will be developed to the best of their ability. I'm not going to just go there and be plug and play and, do your best. We want you to do your best. Like, it's going to be a matter of developing what I already have and getting the most out of that, which again, going to the professional level, that is a prerequisite. So for Florida State, for both of those reasons now, the program's in an exciting place trending upward. People want to be in on that. I don't think it's a secret. Florida State continuing to do well in the transfer portal because of the trajectory of their program and what they're getting out of the talent that's already in-house in Tallahassee. So I asked Josh Newberg, national recruiting analyst for On3, why he thinks Florida State's able to be as successful as they are in the transfer portal. And he, with zero hesitation, told me playing time. Playing time is a huge factor right now. And we got to talk a little bit more, and he laid it out for me very, very simply. The roster at Florida State is currently still going under transitional methods. It's still developing. And it's not to knock Mike Norvell. Mike Norvell's done a phenomenal job, but the strategy isn't to just live off the transfer portal. The strategy isn't long-term to go double-digit transfers year in and year out. The strategy is to do what Georgia's doing, which is to recruit at an elite level, develop those guys like we talked about, and then be able to win a whole lot of games. That's what they would like to do. But really not Mike Norvell's fault totally. Since 2019, Florida State, from a recruiting class ranking standpoint, has been right around that 20 spot. They've been at 19 a couple times. They've been below 20 a couple times. Like right around 20 is, I would say, the unofficial average. And so what that means is when you're not recruiting at the level that you expect, the standard in Tallahassee, when you're not meeting that, you need to find ways to supplement that. Hey, we're not getting the talent we need at the high school level just yet. Let's go and acquire it via the portal. And so what that means is there is some playing time that's available if you're a transfer. He laid it out for me really beautifully. He told me, if Travis Hunter, and this is a sore subject, so bear with me, if Travis Hunter ends up signing with Florida State, is Fentrell Cypress coming to Florida State? Is that going to happen? So that's kind of the reality, and that's just an example for Fentrell Cypress, but I'm saying across the board here, if Florida State is recruiting five-star tight end after five-star tight end, is Jaheim Bell going to want to come to Tallahassee? If you're set on the edge, is Jared Verse coming to Tallahassee? There's an opportunity to play and contribute right away for guys via the portal. And I would have to imagine Mike Norvell is being fairly open about that. Again, my assumption, I'm not on those calls, but that would be my assumption. So for Florida State, they are working to find, in Josh Newberg's words, the equilibrium on the roster from a talent perspective. Right now, they're making up for it with the portal. Eventually, it's going to even out as Florida State continues to grow and become more competitive and become more and more a thought in these recruits' mind. It's going to even out, and then you'll see less transfer portal. But right now, you have proof of concept, a lot of transfers coming to Tallahassee and having immediate success. You have the program right now trending upward, winning games, developing talent, putting it in position to succeed, which leads to more exposure, which if you transfer, make no mistake about it, that is typically one of the end goals. There's a lot of playing time to be had. The recruiting at the high school level will eventually ramp up. I truly believe that. But for now, to be able to offset it with the portal, you can tell these guys, hey, we have a need at insert X position here. And you can come in here and compete for it and have a pretty good shot to help us as soon as you get on campus. It's attractive to a lot of transfers. Obviously so, as they have now landed, like I said, 10 players via the transfer portal. That will help them in 2023. So keep it locked right here. Make sure you're subscribed. This has been The Hard Count. Nick Brake, Lifting Heavy. This is your show. Every single thing that you know and love about this beautiful game, we do it here on a daily basis. Live on Tuesdays, live on Thursdays, 2 Eastern, 1 Central. Make sure you got the bell clicked so you can come and hang out with us then. But Florida State continues to be a transfer destination. I don't believe they're done. I think they'll go back to work post-spring. But I promise you, we will keep an eye on it. We'll make sure that we break it all down as soon as more transfers pick Tallahassee. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep the party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.